Good evening, all. Dr. Jared here, looking forward to bringing you our first healthy living seminar in about 2 months here, focused on gut health. Now, gut health means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but really what I want to talk to you about is just how linked gut health is to the things that you care about. And let me give you some examples. Your gut health is linked to things like energy, sleep, pain, your immune system, your mood, acid reflux, bloating, all sorts of autoimmune conditions, really just your health in general. The gut is so absolutely linked. And sadly, right now it's getting very little traction from an area that it should, which is the news or the media or whatever you want to say. You know, the gut health is actually the thing that's most linked to the quality or the strength of your immune system. So if you have not been addressing your gut health, you may have been missing the boat for the things that matter most to you with staying healthy and let's say fighting the good fight here. So this seminar is going to be under an hour. It's going to be very concise and to the point, but it's going to cover a lot of the things that you care about, and more importantly, give you very applicable action steps. The reason that we care about this is we care about people. I believe people need to be empowered in this current time that we're in, possibly more than any other time, at least in my current lifetime. People are being misled. They're being lied to. They're being driven with fear. And really, there's a lot of things that you do have within your control that can really help you live a better life, live a more empowered life, be there for your children, protect your aging parents, you know, whatever it might be. But really, it's integrating and knowing that your body, your health is the key to a strong immune system. And we're going to focus all about the gut today. When we talk about gut, I'm really talking about how you digest, your digestive system. So from the time something enters your mouth all the way till the time it exits, what it does, how your body assimilates it. Is it life-giving or life-taking? Does it hurt you or help you? What can you do? What do you need to avoid? And what can you take to help strengthen it? So first of all, let's talk about just flat out absorption of nutrients. What do I mean by that? Well, it's not what you consume, it's what you assimilate. There's a reason why one person eats an organic apple and gets all the nutrition, and one person eats an organic apple and gets half the nutrition. It's really in your body's ability to absorb the nutrients. So what are a few keys to that? First of all, you have to have the right types of bacteria in your gut. Now, how do you have the right types of bacteria in your gut? Well, first of all, it can start all the way with the birth process. This is why even going to things as simple as natural deliveries and breastfeeding start the body right. So when a woman bears a child naturally, the child is given almost like a starter pack of mom's gut biome or her probiotics or the good bacteria that they need, which is why mothers being healthy and having a healthy gut actually can pass on the health to their children. Additionally, that can be passed in the breast milk. Unfortunately, what it can't be passed in is it can't be passed through C-section, and it does not get passed through formula. It's not saying there aren't times that you absolutely have to have a C-section or have to have formula, but just understand that there is a difference in doing things naturally. The next thing is what you consume, everything from the fluoride and chemicals that are in tap water that's not purified to consuming antibiotics for ear infections that kills the gut biome. Now let's talk about something else that is just so rampant right now, and that's the side effects of hand sanitizer. Guess what hand sanitizer does? It kills the good bacteria on your hands. If it's consumed at any level, it can kill your gut. One of the things, if from an educational portal that my wife currently is studying, it's called Functional Medicine University. For those of you that are familiar with the bacteria that's called C. diff, C. diff is a antibiotic-resistant bacteria that hospitalizes and kills thousands, or realistic, more like tens of thousands of people a year. And guess what hand sanitizer does? Hand sanitizer does not kill it, but it kills the stuff that protects you against it. So remember, with every good intention, there are often side effects. And so if you look at anything from a mechanistic perspective instead of how the body's supposed to work, realize there's side effects. Charles Darwin, Origin of Species, what we base so much of our natural thinking on, only the strong survive. There's a reason that antibiotic resistant bacteria exist, and it's because instead of building strong immune systems, we try and kill everything, and only the strong survive. So just know, for those of you that are smearing hand sanitizer and disinfectants everywhere, you are negatively affecting your gut biome, you're negatively affecting your immune system, and you're likely causing many other problems in your body. So for those of you that are, again, being persuaded by the media with much of this fear, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't use hand sanitizer. You weigh that out. But what I am saying is know that it's not a net positive in many ways. There are lots of downsides to it. So ways to boost your immune system or ways to increase absorption of nutrients. First of all, the more good nutrients you put in, the better off you are. So the more healthy foods you put in, the better off you're going to be. Certain things need healthy fats to be absorbed. So again, balanced diet. If we're going to be simplistic, high amounts of healthy fats, moderate amounts of protein, lower amounts of carbohydrates is the best way to eat. That's all you need to know. You could, if you were just going to change your eating, stop the seminar right now, increase your healthy fats, make sure and moderate your protein, don't eat more than 30 grams per meal, and cut the simple carbs and cut any of the artificial sweeteners or as many of the preservatives and fillers and food colorings and whatever else that's just not natural. Eat real food and you're going to be better off. But to continue with this absorption of nutrients, for many people, there are just certain supplements you may need to do a gut health protocol, and we're going to go through that in just a moment. The gut microbiome, if that was a new or unique term for you, the gut microbiome is really all the bacteria in your digestive tract. So let's say if you take an antibiotic for a sinus infection, the antibiotic doesn't just kill the infection, it kills any type of bacteria that antibiotic is built to kill, and much of that is going to be negatively affected in your gut biome. One of the things that I talk about frequently is if you do have to take an antibiotic, what you want to do is make sure you take for at least a month 50 billion probiotic per day or more to help reline. It can help resist your likelihood of reinfection, so a sinus infection, a bladder infection, ear infection, whatever it might be, but it also is going to help to repopulate. The simple analogy, if you were going to explain this to somebody else, with your gut biome, it's kind of like planting a garden. If you went out to your yard and your yard was full of grass, you wouldn't just start spreading seeds. You would clear the grass that you no longer want to be there, and you would start to then plant. You'd also have to be careful because weeds are going to grow. And so the better you get that started correctly, the better off you're going to be. So when we talk about gut protocols, what we're talking about is killing the bad bacteria with naturally, relining it with the right types of bacteria. And really, it's more of a blend. It's very much about ratios. There are other things that can negatively affect, and we're going to talk about in just a moment, but that is leaky gut. And that happens from certain things like drugs, chemicals that can actually put holes in your digestive tract. And that's where food allergies and food sensitivities often come from, is because you've lost that protective layer within the digestive tract. Now, I mentioned earlier about mood and sleep, but serotonin is produced in your digestive tract. The vitamin K is produced by bacteria in your digestive tract. So think about this. If you're feeling depressed, if you're anxious, if you're having trouble sleeping, there is a very direct correlation to what you're eating and the quality of your gut and those things. So it may not be the lack of antidepressant that's causing you to be depressed. It may be world circumstances. Unfortunately, the stress of our current environment has led a lot more people to depression, anxiety, addiction, financial hardships. These are things that definitely can negatively affect you, but keep in mind that you can control some of this by simply controlling what you put into your body. So serotonin is made predominantly by your gut, which is your mood hormone, and also your immune system, your susceptibility to interaction with bacteria and viruses also linked to your gut. So if you were going to come in contact with it, wouldn't you want to have a healthy gut? I know that's rhetorical, but keep in mind, if you're not addressing it and if you're not working on it, you're likely allowing your immune system to get weaker. Now, inflammation, this is where we're talking about pain. So high sugar or high carbohydrate diets, high sugar, high carbohydrate eating, unhealthy fats like eating vegetable oils, deep fried foods, these things cause inflammation in your body. Inflammation is linked to autoimmune conditions, sluggish thinking, heart disease, cancer, but it's also linked to pain. I've told people very frequently, well, I love the holidays. The holidays are probably my least favorite time to be a practitioner because the same treatment that we give all year round works less for a lot of people. We see so many more people from in November and December that have more pain because they treat their bodies like crap. They have higher stress, they work out less. Some people skip chiropractic treatments. They typically go to parties and eat more, consume more alcohol, eat more preservatives and artificial sweeteners. And over those 8 weeks from Halloween to New Year's Day, people have more pain. Heart attack rates double between Christmas and New Year's because of all this inflammation. And magically, January 7th, 14th, people retrain the way they eat, take a couple weeks off and go to all these holiday parties. They tend to have their pain levels go down. Their chiropractic adjustments work better. They're healthier. And with this current situation that we've had since February and March, I mean, to me, it feels like extended holidays. It's just brutal. There's so many more people that are living so much more poorly. Can you believe in an era where there's a 900% increase in your likelihood of going to the ICU from this current infection? If your BMI is over 40, the quarantine 15 is still a thing. That alcohol sales and consumption is 50% higher than normal in some states. People are, my friend said, when you come out of this, whenever it ends, you're either going to be a hunk, a drunk, or a chunk. There's a percentage of people that are absolutely maximizing it. We've had some clients that have lost 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds over this time period. I have one staff member over the last 2 years that has lost 100 pounds and kept it off, completely transformed her life. And is living so much better. There are a lot of people who are doing more bad habits because they're stuck inside. They're drinking more alcohol. They're doing more legal drugs. They're doing more prescription drugs, but they're also really eating more crappy food, which is amazing because a lot of people aren't going out to eat. So less people can blame restaurants. They have to take responsibility for themselves. But now we're at this, 5 to 6 month mark of what I would call the extended holidays. And all the statistics show that people are sicker. They're going to die from other things. They're depressed, divorces. I mean, it's just incredibly sad. And so I have to implore you, the answers are simpler than you think. Eat right, exercise, get adjusted, take pride in your health, take pride in your immune system, look up and research the real statistics so that you can really have your best health. Now, what is leaky gut? Leaky gut is something where your intestines are almost meant to seal the things that you don't want into and keep them there and then eliminate them through your bowels. Over time, especially related to chemicals, leaky gut has become a thing. Like I said, this is where people are linked to food allergies, sensitivity to certain things, especially things that are genetically modified, like gluten or, corn-fed dairy, Diet Coke. all these artificial preservatives, anything that's sugar-free, that's not naturally sugar-free. But here's a few things that cause leaky gut that people don't think about. First of all, painkillers. So if you're treating pain with Advil, ibuprofen, any NSAID, those are shown to put holes in your intestinal tract. So remember, it might cost you 30 cents to consume ibuprofen, but the cost to your body is in the tens or hundreds or possibly thousands of dollars range. It's a severely high cost. So consider that when you're weighing out whether or not to take painkillers. Also, steroids. When people take steroids for asthma, lung issues, breathing problems, other sorts of pain, steroids are very directly linked to leaky gut. Other chemicals, Roundup, it's so much easier to spray your grass, for weeds than it is to bend over and pull the weed or we have this for an adaptive tool to my power drill that, spins around and kills the weeds. But, exposing yourself to Roundup. Now, Roundup's not just you causing your gut, but things like cereals, most grains have this non-organic foods that you're going to eat. They have chemicals like Roundup, which is the other term for it's like phosphate, and many other pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. These things are linked to leaky gut, and they're a serious problem. And I already mentioned hand sanitizer, so I'm not going to go through that again. But these damage your intestinal tract, and they make you a weaker person. Know that. It's not a mask. It's not gloves that make you more susceptible. In fact, look at the research on how well those things work compared to healthy immune systems, ideal weight, exercise. I mean, there's 1,000 studies on exercise and mood and the benefit of it. 1,000. There was 8 studies by April that linked vitamin D to lower symptoms of the current crisis. If you're not supplementing with whole food vitamin D, if you're not getting outside, you may be missing the boat. And that actually, vitamin D is linked to absorption of certain nutrients like calcium, which can help you avoid osteoporosis. It can help your heart beat better. It can just help your body function better. And what do you need to do to absorb those things? You need to be able to assimilate them, which is why having your gut health is so vitally important. Now, combine the two last things we talked about, leaky gut and inflammation. They're linked to major diseases. Like I said, the real killers: heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, Alzheimer, dementia. All those things are linked to inflammation. All those things linked to leaky gut. Treat your gut with respect and think about every time you put something in your mouth, what is the net cost or benefit of it? Not just what's the convenience, what is the net cost or benefit of that? So, poor nutrition, I don't think that's a surprise, but keep in mind, like I said, sugar, pop, alcohol, diet things, lack of vegetables that are full of fiber. If you think about the food pyramid is not supposed to have grains as the number one thing you consume. The food pyramid should have vegetables is the number one thing that you consume. A morning breakfast smoothie. So let's go through some cool stuff. A morning breakfast smoothie. Here's my favorite morning breakfast smoothie. If you change one thing, change this. Spinach. It's tasteless in a smoothie. It just makes the color kind of funny. Some sort of berries. Some sort of milk or milk substitute, either grass-fed, organic, dairy, or almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk, something like that. I like to put some sort of a nut, cashews, almonds, possibly something like pumpkin seeds, which are antiviral and anti-parasite. There's all sorts of types. Protein powder. So on Max Living, when you talk about minerals or things that help seal the gut, we have what's called Pure Path protein, which is a bone broth protein that's just fantastic. If you look at the benefits of bone broth and gut health and immunity, it's just so, so good. And it's one more example of how we've really screwed things up as a culture, because that's likely what your grandmother or great-grandmother used to do. When they made broth, they boiled the bones in there and got all that bone marrow, which is so dense in minerals. So protein, fats, healthy carbs, and vegetables, like I said, putting spinach in there. And we also have a greens powder that's a great way to, if you're not good at getting green vegetables, we have a greens powder. And the only thing you miss is the fiber with that. And then possibly some water to thin it out a little bit. But such a healthy way to eat in the morning. But get at least 5 servings of vegetables, at least. So here's the steps. First of all, avoid. I've mentioned it 5 times already, but avoid chemicals. Avoid chemicals in food. Avoid chemicals that go on your hands. Avoid chemicals that go into your system. Replenish. Put the right stuff in. And then in reality, for most people, 99% of people need to supplement. At a bare minimum, you need to supplement with a whole food multivitamin. Centrum and these crappy cheap multivitamins you can get at the health food store, at Walmart or GNC, they're a waste of your time. They're a waste of your money. They don't absorb. It's not what you consume. It's what you absorb. I had 5 conversations yesterday about how somebody's medical doctor put them on synthetic vitamin D because their vitamin D was so low. That is proven to only get you up into a barely acceptable range, not a healthy range. You need to invest in whole food. Now, our vitamins absolutely are a healthy version, but I don't care if you take our vitamins or not. I just care that you take good quality, but replenish your food and then supplement. And I'm going to, in just a moment, go through some basic gut health supplementation protocols that can help you reverse bloating, reflux, all that kind of stuff. When you talk about acid reflux, here's what I think a lot of people don't understand. Acid reflux medicine causes you to absorb less nutrition. By raising the pH in your stomach, you don't break down the food that you eat as effectively, which therefore puts it into your digestive tract, less digested, and so less of it is absorbed. Unfortunately, then it's also linked to bloating. So if you have bad gas and you take acid reflux medication, you may be actually causing that as a side effect of the medication. Acid reflux medication is dramatically linked to cancer because, again, you're not getting nutrients and it's a chemical that you're putting in your system. So spending some time, effort, or money to reverse those things would certainly behoove you. Now, here's a basic bundle. If you have acid reflux or bloating, especially when you eat healthy foods, this is the basic bundle. I would recommend doing Max GI, which is a gut health supplement, which is going to go through and kill some of that bad bacteria, help with relining your gut, and then do 50 billion probiotics with it for 3 months. So you'll notice a difference in the first month, but I would do that for 3 months. It's like replanting the garden. Get rid of the old stuff, and so many people have significant symptomatic improvements. Now, as far as those with leaky gut, pro-L-glutamine is a supplement that you can take that can help seal your gut. Again, I say can because it's an amino acid, but also on our website, if you want more information, there's a gut health, there's recipes, but most of you that are current clients, we've given you, or at least a family member of yours, one of our Max Living books, which has tons of recipes. It goes through all this in more detail. It just takes the time to sit down and read it. So if I could strongly encourage you, get rid of the Netflix binges, read every night, watch more of these videos online, and educate and empower yourself. Now, if you really want to go advanced here, so we have this, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for just a moment, but gut health. So we also carry, which we just ordered, but you can also get it through our website online, Pure Path Fiber, which is a way to help move things through your bowels. Many people have impacted, for instance, like meats on their digestive tract. Meat on average, and especially meat in large quantity and poor quality, can impact into your bowels and cause for low bowel motility or movement. You need more fiber. Most Americans don't get enough fiber, and they consume too much cheap meat. Elvis is famous for dying with like 27 pounds of undigested meat in his stomach. But if you see people that have that big rounded belly, it's not jiggly fat, but it's like that big round stomach. A lot of them have undigested meat because they're not getting enough fiber. So for instance, just not eating meat for 5 days often allows the body to clear that. And many people will lose, 5, 10, 15 pounds as they just eliminate that out of their system. But make sure you're getting enough fiber, high fruits and vegetables. And then lastly, the Gut Renew powder can help with leaky gut, but it's got a bunch of different things in there to really just help your gut heal. So that's what that's the advanced. So not everybody needs that. We do initially, as many of you know, we've now opened for the last month. We've had an integrative clinic open, which is primary care, where we have 2 different practitioners that have over 20 years experience in the medical field. They have so much advanced training, and they can help you actually do blood tests. They can help you with really figuring out what are the right supplements, what's the right eating program for you. So we do have that option. Our goal is to be the answer for everything except emergencies and surgeries for people that truly want to live healthy. And we have that option. And again, it's in network with insurance. There's just so much good stuff happening right now that you can take advantage of. So let's talk about the 2 different eating plans. So the basic plan is the core plan. I mentioned some of this in the core plan. The basic changes that you want to make: you want to eat more healthy fats. If you're going to eat dairy, you want to eat full fat. Ideally, you want to eat grass-fed or 100% grass-fed dairy. You want to get more natural meats. So again, grass-fed. In fish, you want it to say free range or wild caught. Chicken and turkey, you want to say free range, no antibiotics or added hormones. In eggs, you can look at the omega-3 content. That's a sign they're fed a healthier diet. If you're going to eat grains, you want to eat either completely 100% whole grains, ancient grains, or if you're going to eat bread or pasta, you want to get sprouted grains. So like Angelic Organics, Ezekiel 4:9. As many fruits and vegetables as you can. Like I said, starting with a morning breakfast smoothie at least 5 days a week. A week ago today, I also did something that I ate again this morning, which is a very healthy egg bake. So that's another thing that you can try. The advanced plan, now currently my mother and one of her best friends, they're on week 2 of the advanced plan, but the advanced plan is similar to the core plan, except it's going to be a more strict eating program. You're going to cut out all grains, and you're going to go down to low glycemic fruits such as berries, green apples, lemons, limes. And again, that's in your book or can be researched on our website in more detail. But you want to do that. If you're going to do the advanced plan, you want to do it straight for at least 14 days, ideally for 30 days. But there's no downside to doing it longer. The advanced plan falls more along the lines of like paleo, keto, those sorts of things. But really, it's my favorite way because I think it's a more balanced, healthy way to do it than possibly even paleo or keto. Now, coming into I continue to call it the current climate, partially due to the sad thing, which we call censorship. But I want this program to be expanded to as many people as possible. So mindset, this is avoiding the news. I would say staying off social media in a negative way, which is just chronically scrolling. I would read research-based articles that show, death rates, healthy options, ways to boost your immune system. For those people that are feeling really the stress of whether it's sending your kids to school right now or working in an environment or working from home, things like meditation, journaling, prayer, mindset books. 2 of my favorite books right now on mindset. One is called Atomic Habits. The other one is called High Performance Habits. I read both of those during the this current climate, because it's important. Even the stuff to do, sometimes it's easy to get out of the habit. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. So strengthening your mind and knowing that you absolutely are powerful. You're healthy, you're able, and you can boost your health. It's your choice for many of these things. We already talked about the gut health. I mentioned, so glyphosate is another term for Roundup. Using cheap plastics or, for instance, like styrofoam. But heavy metals are a big deal. And you know what's full of heavy metals? that thing they stick in your arm, that flu shot that's being advertised. There's turns out a 5-fold increase in respiratory infections, including the one with the big C. And so, if you're going to wonder where numbers are going to explode, instead of boosting your immune system naturally, it's going to be those people, unfortunately, that try and boost it artificially. And so the reason heavy metals are in those, by the way, is because they have to damage your immune system by damaging your nerve system to wake up your immune system to handle a weakened strain of something like the flu or the big C word or some of that other kind of stuff. So just remember, heavy metals are severely damaging to the gut. And when you put them in your arm, they also bypass a lot of your body's natural systems, and they can absorb into your brain as well, linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, inflammation, all sorts of stuff that people do not want. Now, detoxing, here's a few other ideas. Water or juice fast, for instance, for 24 hours. That can really give your body a break. It can help you to have a chance to really get some of that extra food out of your intestines. It's also shown to improve your mood. It's shown to improve your immune system. So extended fasts, I can't necessarily recommend because you need to be very knowledgeable, but doing either a juice, which is mostly vegetable juices, by the way, a bone broth, or a water fast for 24 hours, really linked to detoxing and helping your gut health. So that might be something, if you really need a boost, do a juice. I already mentioned exercise. So many articles on how it helps digestion. Your spine or your neurology. Again, today's only Tuesday, and I've in just the last 24 hours, I've had multiple conversations with people about how when they feel when they started to get their spine adjusted, they noticed an increase in the quality of their energy. They noticed an increase in the quality of their digestion. Because remember, your nerve system controls every single function in your body, and only 10% of your nerves feel pain. So when you get adjusted, you improve your immune system and you strengthen your body's ability to function. So just a few action steps here. First of all, improve your lifestyle. Know that you have the power. Take the power into your own hands. Additionally, supplement. Multivitamin at a bare minimum. If you have any digestive issues, do several rounds of Max GI. Do several rounds of the probiotics. Do a detox, whether it's a supplement detox or a dietary detox. And then for those of you that really need help and guided help and have serious issues, our mountain program is fantastic. Abby, our nurse practitioner, is phenomenal. The mountain program is a guided program with multiple times of tests to test everything from your body composition to your toxicity levels, to your mineral balances, to what supplements you should be taking under stress. So if you have any thyroid or adrenal or hormonal issues like testosterone issues, or for females, estrogen or progesterone, heart issue, there's just so much that can be done. Now, that program is the only paid for program. The initial appointment for the basic testing and to meet with Abby for an hour is $185, and you can either private message me or sign up for that in the clinic. Additionally, then based on those tests, she will prescribe certain supplements. She'll talk to you about the right lifestyle or dietary changes, and possibly and probably even do additional testing for you. So that's a big deal and a great option for you. So with that being said, for those of you, reread your book, get Atomic Habits or High Performance Habits, empower yourself, and live a maximized life. Have a blessed day.